Watching YouTube, I saw a video from OpenAI, where two neural networks learn to play hide and seek. And then I understood that I wanted to do something like that. The first thing I did was to go into the Blender and model our hero. Let's call him Henry. He's going to learn how to get cheese. Unfortunately, Henry doesn't have a brain, so we'll use neural networks. A neural network is a very simple artificial brain that accepts incoming information and, in our case, performs some action. The incoming information for Henry will be the 20 rays that come out of his body and tell him the date of the objects they encounter. In total we'll have 4 types of these objects: wall, mousetrap, button and cheese. But how will our neural networks learn? For this we will use reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is one way of machine learning in which Henry will learn by interacting with our environment. It's a good time to meet her. Henry will be placed in a room 2 meters by 2 meters, surrounded by invisible walls for collision with which he will receive -1 point and start again. But that's not the only obstacle Henry might encounter. Mousetraps, the collision with which is analogous to walls. Also, in order for Henry to complete the task in the shortest possible time, for every 5 actions we will take away 1/100 of a point from him. But that was only negative reinforcement. Let's move on to positive reinforcement. Buttons. For colliding with buttons, Henry receives half a point. If all the buttons in the room are pressed, our final reward appears, cheese, which is worth 1 point. With incoming information and reinforcement everything seems to be understood, but what actions can Henry perform? For this experiment he has 4 actions: run forward, stop, turn right and turn left. Let's see how he learns. As we can see, Henry understands nothing. He crashes into both mousetraps and walls. But that's because learning has just begun. By exploring the environment and getting positive or negative reinforcement, Henry must learn how to avoid mousetraps and not crash into walls while pushing buttons and picking up cheese. $100,000 steps later, Henry almost always avoids running into mousetraps, which is not the case with walls. Even now he tries to press the buttons, sometimes he even manages to press them all. Try attempts to find cheese, very readily and with luck. $200,000 steps later, Henry always avoids mousetraps, almost always pressed all the buttons, and sometimes gets scared of cheese. After a million steps, you could say that Henry has learned to take the cheese. Perhaps he chooses not the most efficient ways to achieve the goal, but he achieves the goal. Which means that my first project with machine learning can be considered a success.